Podcast listenership is booming, with massive audiences eager to be transported by engaging narratives. But unlike movies or TV shows, podcasts rely solely on audio to captivate their audiences. There are no fancy visuals, just the power of your voice and the listener's imagination. It's a unique challenge, but one that narrative podcasts are conquering in incredible ways. Crafting a compelling narrative podcast might seem daunting at first. How do you create a vivid world without visuals? How do you keep listeners hooked when they can't see what's happening? Don't worry, because we've got you covered. This blog is your roadmap to crafting narrative podcasts that leave your audience begging for more. We'll delve into the power of storytelling in this medium, explore the building blocks of a captivating narrative, and share practical tips on bringing your story to life with sound. What are narrative podcasts? Podcasts offer a buffet of content for every interest, but within this landscape lies a special breed, the narrative podcast. Unlike interview-based formats where experts or personalities hold court, narrative podcasts weave captivating stories, transporting listeners on an immersive audio journey. A 2023 report found that narrative podcasts are the fastest-growing genre within podcasting, with a 37% increase in listenership compared to the previous year. Narrative podcasts have the highest binge rate compared to other formats. This means listeners are more likely to listen to multiple episodes of a narrative podcast in a row, highlighting their engrossing nature. Think of it as an audiobook where the story unfolds entirely through sound. There are no visuals to guide you, just the narrator's voice and the sound design. But therein lies the magic. Our brains are wired for stories. Stories trigger emotional responses, build empathy with characters, and allow us to experience the world through new lenses. This inherent power of storytelling is a goldmine for businesses looking to connect with their audience on a deeper level. Narrative podcasts can be a powerful tool for brand storytelling, allowing you to weave your brand's values, mission, and impact into a captivating narrative. Beyond brand storytelling, narrative podcasts foster trust and loyalty by creating a deeper connection with your audience. Listeners who are engaged by your story feel a sense of investment, becoming more receptive to your brand message. The power of narrative podcasts is undeniable, and it isn't limited to specific genres. Whether you're looking to build brand awareness, connect with your audience on a personal level, or simply captivate listeners with a compelling story, the power of narrative podcasts is undeniable. How to build your narrative. A captivating narrative is the lifeblood of any successful podcast. It's the invisible thread that pulls listeners in, keeps them engaged, and leaves them eagerly awaiting the next episode. So how do you craft a narrative that truly resonates? Craft the core. The foundation of any great narrative is a strong central arc. This refers to the classic three-act structure: beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning, you introduce your characters, establish the setting, and plant the seeds of conflict. The middle throws your characters into the thick of the action, raising the stakes and building tension. Finally, the end brings resolution, whether happy, sad, or bittersweet, and leaves your listeners with a sense of closure. This isn't to say you're confined to a rigid chronological structure. Nonlinear narratives can be incredibly effective, using flashbacks, flash forwards, and fragmented timelines to keep listeners intrigued and piecing together the puzzle. The key is to choose the structure that best serves your story. Here's a golden rule: always give your listeners a reason to keep coming back. This is where a compelling central question or mystery comes in. Is your protagonist searching for a missing person? Is there a hidden conspiracy waiting to be unraveled? Planting a seed of intrigue early on hooks listeners and keeps them invested in the journey. Develop characters. At the heart of every captivating story are characters we care about, people we can root for, empathize with, or even despise. Listeners connect with stories that feature relatable characters with distinct personalities, motivations, and backstories. Even in short-form podcasts, developing well-rounded characters is crucial. Give your characters quirks, flaws, and desires. Let their motivations drive the plot forward. Remember, B2B podcasts have characters too. Consider client success stories, customer pain points, and other characters that help you build a story with your brand and solutions. Here are a few tips. Show, don't tell. Don't just tell listeners what a character is like. Use dialogue, internal monologues if appropriate, and actions to reveal their personality. Distinct voices. If your story features multiple characters, consider using different voice acting styles or accents to differentiate them. Less is more. You don't need a novel's worth of backstory for each character. Focus on details that illuminate their motivations and impact the story. Dialogue and voice acting. Dialogue is a powerful tool to bring your characters to life. It allows listeners to hear the characters' personalities, emotions, and back-and-forth dynamics. Consider layering your dialogue with natural pauses, stutters, and vocal inflections to add realism. Voice acting plays a crucial role in narrative podcasts. A skilled narrator can elevate the entire experience, conveying emotions, building suspense, and seamlessly transitioning between characters. Bring your story to life. We've established the foundation of a captivating narrative, but how do you translate that blueprint into a podcast that truly transports your listeners? Set the scene. Remember, you don't have visuals to rely on, so the key is to paint a vivid picture in the listener's mind using descriptive language. Engage their senses: sight, sound, smell, touch, even taste. Describe the bustling energy of a crowded marketplace, the stifling heat of a desert landscape, or the comforting scent of freshly baked bread. Sound design. Sound design is more than just background noise. It's a powerful tool that adds depth, atmosphere, and emotional impact to your story. Imagine a bustling city street brought to life with the cacophony of car horns, distant sirens, and street vendors calling out their wares. Now contrast that with the eerie silence of a deserted building, punctuated only by the creaking floorboards and the drip of a leaky faucet. Pacing and delivery. A captivating story needs a dynamic flow. Imagine a riveting chase scene unfolding in a podcast. The narrator speaks in rapid bursts, mirroring the frenetic pace of the action. Sound effects like screeching tires and pounding footsteps keep the tension high. But not every moment needs to be action-packed. Slower, more reflective moments allow listeners to process the narrative and connect with the characters. Pauses can be powerful tools, building suspense or adding weight to a character's words. Finally, the narrator's delivery style is crucial. A clear, confident, and engaging voice is essential to drawing listeners into the story. Consider the tone you want to convey: serious, humorous, or suspenseful, and adjust your vocal delivery accordingly. Turn your story into a podcast. Now that you've crafted a compelling narrative and learned the art of storytelling through sound, it's time to turn your vision into a captivating podcast. But how do you translate your story from script to speakers? Let's explore the process from recording to promotion. Scripting versus freestyling. There are two main approaches to recording your podcast narrative: scripting everything word for word or adopting a more improvisational style. Scripting offers a sense of control, ensuring your story unfolds as planned and key details aren't missed. However, it can sound rigid and unnatural. Freestyling allows for a more conversational tone, but can lead to rambling or forgetting important plot points. The ideal approach lies somewhere in between: script key story beats, dialogue, and major plot points. This provides a solid structure while allowing for flexibility during recording. You can add natural pauses, adjust phrasing for better flow, or even sprinkle in unscripted moments for a more authentic feel. Recording and editing high-quality audio is essential for a professional podcast. Choose a quiet recording space free from background noise. Invest in a decent microphone and learn proper mic technique, maintaining a consistent distance and avoiding plosives, those popping P sounds. Editing is where your podcast truly comes to life. Editing software allows you to remove unwanted background noise, breaths, and mistakes. This is also where you'll add music and sound effects to enhance your story. There are vast libraries of royalty-free sound effects available online, but be sure to check the licensing terms before using copyrighted music. Promote your podcast. A fantastic podcast deserves to be heard. Here's how to grab attention and build your audience. Catchy title and cover art. Your title and cover art are the first impression. Choose a title that piques listeners' curiosity and invest in visually appealing cover art that reflects your podcast's theme. Captivating trailer. Create a short, engaging trailer that showcases the essence of your podcast and leaves listeners wanting more. Social media powerhouse. Promote your podcast on relevant social media platforms. Share snippets, teaser clips, and behind-the-scenes insights. Engage with potential listeners and participate in online communities related to your podcast's genre. Directory listings. Submit your podcast to major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts and Spotify to increase discoverability. By implementing these steps, you'll be well on your way to turning your captivating narrative into a thriving podcast with a dedicated audience. Remember, the journey of podcasting is an ongoing process. Experiment, gather feedback, and refine your approach to create an experience that will truly captivate your listeners. Captivate your audience, one story at a time. Now it's your turn. Take some time to brainstorm your own podcast ideas. Do you have a compelling story to tell? Is there a unique perspective you can share through the power of audio? There are countless resources available online to help you hone your craft. Research different narrative formats, delve into editing software tutorials, and explore the vast library of existing podcasts for inspiration. Remember, the world of podcasting thrives on fresh voices and captivating narratives. So, fire up your microphone, unleash your creativity, and get ready to share your story with the world. And finally, for businesses looking to leverage the power of storytelling, Aspiration Marketing can help. We specialize in crafting compelling brand narratives and developing effective content marketing strategies. Let us help you connect with your audience on a deeper level and unlock the power of storytelling for your brand.